In this video, I am going to explain you some advanced concepts of AWS VPC. So let's get started. As you can see here, these are the contents of this video, like NAT Gateway, Bastion Host, VPC Peering, VPC Endpoints, and AWS Direct Connect. So let's get started. What is the NAT Gateway? So NAT Gateway is basically a component of VPC which enables the instances in a private subnet to connect to the internet or the other AWS services, but prevents the internet from initiating connections to those instances. NAT Gateway is created in a public subnet because it needs internet gateway to access and communicate with the internet. NAT gateway allows inbound connections, which means internet users cannot start a connection to the private instance. Used to allow private subnet instances to access the internet. Internet cannot initiate connections to private instances, which means no inbound access must be placed inside a public subnet. It requires an elastic IP, which is most important, and private subnet rules tables must be included like this. This is the destination, and here you can want to go. NAT gateway used for outbound traffic only, highly available and managed by AWS, not free. It is charged on the data processing as well as the number of hours you used. So these are the figures, like these are the internet gateway and these are the NAT gateway used for public IP, NAT gateway used for subnet IP, and all both have route table. What is VPC peering? So VPC peering is a private, is basically used for connection between a private networking of two VPCs that enables you to route traffic between them privately. It uses for private IP communication, no gateway nor NAT needed, works within the same regions or different regions, or also different AVS. Important requirements like CIDR range must not be overlapped. You must be on the particular fixed IP range, like here is 16, which is very big. Route table must be updated. For example, this is a destination, this is the target, like VPC peering you have to select, and security groups must allow traffic. Now, what is VPC endpoint? So VPC endpoint is basically allows you to privately connect your VPC to subnet AWS services and endpoint VPC services powered by AWS private link. Traffic not go through the internet. It's most important, traffic don't go through the internet. It basically bypass the internet. Why VPC endpoint is needed? Because normally when EC2 access AWS services like S3, EC2 connected to internet gateway, NAT gateway, and after that AWS services. But with endpoint, you can directly connect EC2 to AWS services. The whole internet gateway and NAT gateway is not needed. You can bypass these all. What are its benefits? So more secure, lower latency, no gateway cost. You can also save money from here. These are the types of endpoints. First, gateway endpoint used for S3 and DynamoDB, works by adding a route in route table. For example, this is the destination HT service, and the gateway endpoint is basically your target where you want to reach. And the second is in interface endpoint, basically used for most of the AWS services. For example, EC2 API, SQS, SNS, CloudWatch, KMS. It creates an elastic network interface, which is also known as ENI, inside a subnet. So, what is Bastion Host? So, Bastion Host is a secure server used to access the internet access and private subnet. It acts as a jump server between the internet and private servers. Located in the public subnet, has a public IP address. And why Bastion Host is needed? So instance in the private subnet cannot be accessed directly from the internet. So Bastion Host provides control access to those private instances. Like here you can see here on this figure, internet is Bastion Host and private EC2. Important characteristics of Bastion Host are these: located in only a public subnet, has a public IP address, used for secure SSH access to private instances. Access usually restricted to a specific IP address. Acts as a single entry point to the private servers. So now the topic is AWS Direct Connect. So what is it? It basically provides a dedicated private network connection between on-premise data center and AWS. It basically bypasses the public internet. Why Direct Connect is used? So it used for normally connection to AWS happens to internet, on-premise network connected to internet, and then AWS. With the Direct Connect, you can directly use on-premise and directly connect to AWS. The whole internet thing is gone. What are its benefits? So it has a more stable connection, it has lower latency, higher bandwidth, and more secure and predictable network performance. So as you can see here, the one more concept is basically is the client VPN versus direct connect. So the client VPNs, the purpose is connect individual users to VPC, whereas in the direct connect, it is basically connect on-premise network to AWS. Connection type VPN is used over internet, whereas in direct connect, a dedicated private internet connection is used for users and admins and developer accessing AWS remotely, whereas in direct connect, the entire company center needed. For the performance, normal internet speed is fine in client VPN, whereas the direct connects require higher bandwidth, but it is also have lower latency. Whereas in talking about infrastructure, no physical cable required, where it requires physical connection to directly AWS location. If we go to console, where you can see the endpoints here, you can also create endpoints. You can fill these and you can create endpoints here. And also you can see the firewalls, and you can also see the virtual VPNs. Here you can see the client VPN endpoint. So these are the things. Like here you can see like what the topics I given to you: endpoints and VPC peering. For VPC peering, you have to go to here inside the virtual private cloud, and you have to click into the peering connection. You can click on create peering. You can name it something, anything like my name, and you can also VPC, select your VPC. You can also click on range, you can fill this, and you can also create a peering connection from here. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching this video.